Cotman, Crawford, and the Jersey Guy podcast.
Hey everybody, Kenny Cotman.
Lewis Crawford.
And I'm Tom Ramage, the Jersey Guy.
Hello. Welcome back, everybody. What's going on?
Yeah, it's good to be back. You know, we were off for a while, and I'm excited to be back.
Holidays.
Yeah. Well, for the holidays. So,
So I hope everybody had a
break.
good Christmas. Yeah, had a good Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, New Year,
Yeah. It's Festivus.
whatever. Festivus for the rest of us.
That's right.
Yes, man. So I hope everybody had a
Absolutely.
good time. Yes. Good.
Yeah.
So we're going to start off with a bang. We have a guest tonight.
yeah, so we have Jen from Complementary Wellness Center.
Yep.
Yes. Okay.
Yep. We're going to do tonight's topic is going to be on alternative medicine.
Yes.
Yes.
So, and Jen, I thought Jen would be perfect for that specific topic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because of what she does and the field that she's in. And just so we know, I know Jen for quite a long time, and she's been really helpful for me, for my, so I'm glad to have her on.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
was
yeah.
actually her who was like, hey, if you ever want somebody, I'm like, and I took her up on her offer. So
There you
she's
go.
here.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna
good stuff.
talk.
So
about
talk to us, Jen. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Well, tell our listeners.
My name is Jenny. I'm a licensed massage therapist in the state of New York, and I am a co-owner at the Complementary Wellness Center, as you mentioned.
Yes.
My business partner is an acupuncturist, and what we do is we provide complementary or alternative medicine to individuals to help treat a wide variety of conditions and injuries, and it's infinite what the people we work with.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's cool.
It's cool.
That is awesome. So, do alternative medicine. So, like, I guess what would you suggest for, I don't know, pick one now. So you do your martial arts stuff.
Right.
So then, like, so we'll talk about.
Usually it's either my back or my hip or something. Sometimes it's my shoulders. It depends on what it is. But sometimes I'll have one spot that is usually my trouble there, and that's usually.
Okay, so then let's say for muscle, so back muscle pain, lower muscle pain, being that kind of active, what's something good to use or do?
Well, one, you have to be making sure you're warming up and cooling down, and Lou's good with that kind of stuff.
Right.
But, ice is always the key.
Right.
Ice is the number one thing. A lot of people think heat. No, you want to stay away from heat, because if you have pain, you have soreness, you have inflammation in the body, and what's going to cool down inflammation or heat? Ice. So
Okay.
usually if most 95% of the time if somebody has something going on, ice is the way to go. 20 minutes, you have a headache, put it at the back of your head.
Right.
You're sore from anything like that, activities, working out, martial arts. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever, right? I mean,
Yeah, no, definitely. Oh yeah, whatever works. But so now just doing the icing and not taking, let's say, like a because was it anti-inflammatory? Is it
ibuprofen or naproxen.
Well, you can.
Well, no, I'm saying instead of that, right? So that then the alternative would be alternative. Well, not saying I mean alternative from Tylenol or Excedrins or whatever. Would there be like say a vitamin or supplement?
Well, that you don't want to necessarily. I can't go into specific like, hey,
Right.
take this many kind of vitamins or minerals,
Okay.
because that's subjective. That's everybody has their.
Gotcha.
Lou and I have talked about that before.
Right.
Everybody has their own
Right.
dosage or something they might need, but yes, your diet and your nutrition, making sure you're getting adequate protein and water. Ice and water are your number one things,
Right.
Ice and water. And of course, the massage, what I do does help. You're loosening up the muscle tissues. We prepare the muscles to work out or do active things, no matter what it is, even if you work at a desk.
Right.
It's a lot of people work at a desk. They have repetitive injuries of their neck, their head, headaches, and get in there and loosen it up. Acupuncture to bring down inflammation. But yeah, instead of something like taking an oral medication like ibuprofen or Tylenol or some of these other things, they're just bringing down inflammation. So instead of taking the medication,
Do the ice
water
and water.
ice.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, usually if it's that bad, you're going to wind up going to urgent care for something, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you're in that kind of pain, but hopefully, you know, if it's something you can get through yourself, you know, like I do a lot of stretching on my own, you know,
Yep.
I do that.
Yeah.
I have stuff that I try to do my own, that I have in my little dojo.
Right.
And it helps, you know, and I do the stretching and I make sure I'm trying to strengthen the leg or whatever it's going on and just, try to do more on my own. I don't want to go on meds or anything like that. And I'm more to the alternative. That's why I like all that stuff, you know, massage, acupuncture.
Right.
There's a whole bunch of different ones too that you can do. You know, there's so much you can do now. It's crazy. And now, right now they're doing instead of the surgery, right? They're doing the, oh, come on, help me out. You have to travel out of the country now for it if you want to do it for yourself and get it. You know, they inject it in, which his face was talking about.
I can't think of it either.
Right. Anyway, it's
was it not stem cell?
Yes, stem cells. Thank you.
Stem cells.
I apologize,
Okay,
people.
stem cell.
Brain fart. But stem cells is what I was saying because that's a big thing now, and a lot of people are traveling out of the country because in the United States they're really not doing it. You wouldn't unless I guess you have money or whatever. But people are going out of the country and getting it done for their knee, for their back, for their shoulder, and it works.
Where do they get the stem cells from? Because I heard it's from like fetuses.
Yes.
But
it's a bunch of different things.
It wouldn't necessarily be fetuses. It's usually like the umbilical cord,
right?
Yeah.
Or the
or
the placenta.
Not for nothing. It kind of sounds like at Thanksgiving they use everything and you make soup. So let's utilize those cells.
Right. I think it's the placenta as well. I believe.
Yeah, placenta.
Okay. Yes.
Because it's
right.
very
That's right.
that has a lot of
that's right.
The stem cells in there.
viscosity to like blood flow to it. That's what it all is. So it's a lot of cells that can help other things grow. Yeah.
See, that's news to me. I thought it
works.
was like they just used it off of your own person, your own body. You took it off of you, and
no, I don't know if they can do that, but that's probably an option
there are things like that, but now you're getting more into like bone marrow.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I thought
that's more invasive. But let's say on the easier scale of things.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of people
that's crazy.
are doing that. They're going out of the country and painful because it's easier to do it somewhere else and cheaper. And it's still the same medical, you know, it's just allowed there.
Right.
Versus that here, it's still in the, you know, the not everybody can get it. And if you can, it's super expensive.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
It's like like you and I can never even, well, you know, maybe our kids will be able to get it at some point, you know what I mean? But it's a good way to go the right direction, is what I'm saying. So you're taking from the body what could actually help your body.
Right.
Right. So you're just using what's already there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So you're not, I guess a lot of people make a big deal about it. But for me, I look at it as this, but if that's what we can get it from, rather than trying to make it in a lab or use it that way, then I think we're better off going in that direction than versus going the other way.
Well, you know what's
right,
cool?
Jen? You agree with that at all?
Yeah, I agree. Like it's there's a fine line of all this stuff, you know what I mean, too. And you know, the one thing that our country is regulations, and a lot of times it does take time for us to have accessibility to things. But yeah, it's more something coming from you or something we can nourish your body from than an outside source.
We're gonna say, Tom.
And speaking of stem cells, is an interesting thing with the research that they're finding on fasting. You know, I've done a few. You know me. I've done a couple. Like I've done a few. You know, a few years ago, like water fasts. I've done like 5-day water fasts. Longest I got is 7 days. That was a little much. But yeah. So and they say like your body goes through autophagy, which is they give a Japanese researcher gave him a Nobel Prize for this. So basically, what happens is your cells. Your good cells consume like the dead cells that are floating around, and also that's part of autophagy. You'll get like tightening of the skin,
and you shock the brain.
And
you shock the brain. I heard too as well, because that helps. With the brain as well.
Yeah, they say, well, your brain functions better when it's on ketosis because you're just like burning your own body fat. So, but the what was the other thing I was finding about it? Yeah, the autophagy. Oh, your body starts producing some stem cells. Right. When you go, I think after like 3 or 4 days in a fast.
That's awesome. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So it's that's what's so cool about it, because you're actually just using what's already there, and they're tapping into it now where they can do it with technology that they couldn't do before. You know, the shit out of Star Trek and frickin'. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Seriously, it's crazy,
well,
right?
now look, CPAP machines.
Right.
You can have a device installed,
Right.
and you no longer have the mask.
Really?
You have to qualify, like just like
Right.
anything.
Yeah.
But it's just like a device that kind of I think goes in your chest,
Mm-hmm.
and now you don't have to worry about the big machine and
Right.
the noise and being
Right.
sleep divorced and all that.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. You have to lay there with with the mask on your face and the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
My father had to do that.
And how many people don't do it because they don't want to wear that thing?
Right. They don't
Yeah.
like the way it feels, or they're not comfortable. They can't sleep, so they just say,
Right.
screw it, you know?
That's crazy.
crazy, yeah.
That's crazy.
And you always have to clean it, you know? It's
Right. Yeah.
That's important too.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, a lot of people just don't want to be bothered.
Right.
But
Yeah.
some will do it, though. My father did it. He made sure it was clean. He got it fixed all the time. You know,
Right.
there's always something going on with the damn thing.
Yeah.
So,
That's insane.
so no, that's cool that happens, you know? Did you guys ever see a woman? She's on our Instagram page, Barbara O'Neill.
Yeah. Yes.
She's
I
from
saw it,
Australia,
Mm-hmm.
and she talks about all of the natural things that are there already for us.
Right.
Not only with body, but in herbs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, from
Mm-hmm.
just things of that nature that can be so helpful for you, rather than having to go on a prescription drug.
Right.
Or, that when you watch the TV channel and they just say, "Hey, we got so and so," and it's
Right.
gonna, your ass is gonna fall out. And all this other shit's going to happen. But, it will help the other thing.
Yeah.
You're just going to get all these other things.
But your
with it.
asshole fall out. That's funny as
yeah,
hell.
those commercials are like list of things may be death,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
suffering, pain.
Yeah.
They
Exactly.
suffocate.
That's funny.
Right.
All right. So Jen, so talk to us. What else do you recommend? I guess we'll say for anything. Like give us even more.
Well, I mean, the number one thing that I think that a lot of people have to learn to do is learn to listen to your body. And that's first and foremost, because you're the advocate for you. And if you're the one that can explain to the doctor, we have to be grateful for Western medicine. We have diagnostics, we have intervention for a lot of things. So it's not like, just alternative.
Right.
Eastern or whatever you want to call it, medicine. But you have to know yourself, know what your normal blood pressure is, know what your normal heart rate is, know just how you feel in general. Some people can't tell you and say like, oh yeah, I wake up with no problem, or I did, like they want to search for it. So that's first and foremost, but and being an advocate for yourself. But walking is a great, just basic exercise that most people should be doing anyway, just to keep your body agile.
Right.
With your heart rate, that's like the number one thing is walking. Everybody recommends.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stretching, as we discussed, for pliability of your muscles and your joints and your bones, the strength and health of your bones. So, and stretching number one thing that I tell people is stretching should not be painful.
Right.
In addition to what I do, I am also a personal trainer. So I do have a background in that and nutritional counseling. So, in regard to that, stretching should not be painful.
Right.
You go to a point where you feel the stretch, you hold it, don't hold your breath, you breathe, and just a little of that each day goes a long way, So before you know it, you'll touch your toes. Nobody has to do crazy stretching moves.
So your leg doesn't have to go behind your head.
Yeah. Right.
No,
So then,
thing.
yeah, everybody has a different level of flexibility to begin with.
Right.
So
Yeah.
okay. So then stretch before going to work, kind of thing. Like make it like a routine. Stretch every morning or stretch in the evening. Well, matter of fact, even with that, is it better to stretch before, let's say, I would say just so much a workout. But like I said, I get up in the morning, I jump in the shower, I get dressed, and I leave to go to work. So, like, should I set up now time? Or should everybody, I guess, would say, set up time to be able to, just to stretch and just to get everything pumping?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Can I just say I do it every morning?
Okay.
When I get out of bed, take the dog, I have like a routine. Take the dogs out, go upstairs. Then I do it.
Okay.
Then I do my routine to go get ready for work, and then I get out. And then at night, I do it again. So I do it both because it helps with getting your circulation going and getting up and getting ready for the day.
Right.
And loosen it up, right? You're not going out stiff, right? You're kind of whatever it is that you decide to do. And then at night, it helps you go to sleep because you're a little bit more relaxed and, you're the same principle.
One of the best things that you can do in the evening if you're having, or I recommend to people if you're having trouble sleeping, is you take a warm shower, because the shower, the warmth calms your body, and it's also warming everything up to make sure everything's pliable. And then you stretch, and by stretching, you are working the meridians of the body as well, and you're calming yourself so you're ready to sleep.
Meridians, bro.
Yeah.
See, so now the funny. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So that then the funny for me is that as soon as I get home from work, so I get out of work around 3:30, 4 o'clock. I go home by 4:15, 4:30. I'm already showering, and then just laying back and relaxing for the rest of the night. Never thought of that. So now should I shower or take a shower closer toward bedtime and do the stretching, or it just doesn't?
Well, it's everybody's different. So
You
we're
gotta pick
talking
your own place, right?
We're talking like, okay, this is right, this is wrong.
There's no right or wrong.
Really, the number one problem, quote unquote, I hate to say it, a problem that we have is that time. Everybody's like, I don't have time. I don't have time. So wherever time it works for you.
Okay.
Yes, in the morning it can help, doing some kind of physical activity in the morning, even if it's 10 minutes has been known to like really give you the energy and like get you going for the day. So for some people it might be in the morning, some people it might be in the evening because that's what you want. Maybe some people it's both.
Right.
In a workout, you would hope you could do it in the beginning and the end, different type of stretching, but most people don't have that time or don't make the time, so it usually is at the end or unfortunately not at all. Then they come see me.
Because they didn't stretch. They're in a shit world of trouble.
Exactly.
And I do it at work too. Like if I get out of the truck, I make sure I stretch. So it's just it doesn't. I think that's what Jen hit on, but the time is really not a lot in time. It only takes you like a minute the most, right? To like if you're just going to stretch your hamstrings or you know what I mean, or just up in the air, side to side, whatever it is.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be a all day. All right, I got to take 10 minutes to do.
Okay, see, so then now you just change that up too, because for me, I'm thinking like stretching down, touching your toes. Like I'm not so much how much time is going to take to actually do the stretch. It was just more of it said the first part of my question, should I do it closer to bedtime as opposed to doing it? Because I don't go to bed until like 10 o'clock.
Right. You're saying if you come home and take that shower, you don't have to. If you come home and take the shower and you want to do it then, do it then.
Okay.
But you can do it closer. If you're having like maybe a little difficulty with your sleeping or falling asleep, then you know what? You don't have to take the shower right before. You can just, right before you go to bed, just take a few deep breaths, and just do some stretching.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so again, whatever's good for you. You just got to figure out, I do it this, boom, all right, that's a good idea. I'll do it then.
And basic
doesn't have to be like
stretching,
everybody else.
Yeah, and it's different. Again, if you're finishing a workout, you would do a different stretch after a workout than you would before a workout, or the type of training. If you're doing martial arts, you're going to do a lot different stretching than somebody who's a swimmer.
Yeah, see, because I don't even know the difference between the stretches, like what would be different from.
There's just basic stuff. I mean, there's stuff I can show you, that wouldn't be too complicated or hurt you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's always good with that?
There's active stretching where you're stretching yourself. There's passive stretching where like maybe I'm working on somebody and I'm doing the movement, so you're completely. So there's that. There's where you can use like a foam roller, or you could use like a towel even to stretch yourself. So there's different types of stretching.
Right.
This is a little fun fact. The Olympic teams have massage therapists. They have, they have athletic trainers. They have things, but it's very structured what you can and can't do.
Gotcha.
I've been asked to do the U.S. Open. I haven't done it yet, but you have to go, and it's like before. There's a certain type you do, and you're doing something more stimulating.
Okay.
At the end, you're doing something to come, but you cannot do, like, I wouldn't be able to stretch as a massage therapist. They'd be like, nope, because you're not going to mess with anything like that.
Right.
Just there.
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
You're there to stimulate and warm up, and you're there to say, hey, thank you for what you did.
Right.
For in that instance.
Yeah.
We do more, but for that case alone.
Yeah. See, because I said I would, because then even still, so just saying alternative medicine, right? For me in my head, it's like I said, it's taking supplements. I wasn't even thinking about like doing the stretching. Was that I'm thinking more nutrition.
Oh, yeah,
I wasn't even thinking. Like I said, I wasn't even thinking about just the stretching. I didn't even think that had anything to do with that.
Here's the main thing, and this is the thing that Tanya and I talk about, is that we're getting older now.
Right.
So it's going to be harder the longer you wait. It's going to be harder for you to get looser. At least, And I see it with people like my brother Michael. He's just starting to go to the chiropractor. He's been doing it maybe close to a year now, but it was hard for him in the beginning. And then now he started to realize, oh, this is loosening up, and I can do this when I'm at home, or I can do that.
Well,
so once you figure, like Jen was saying, you find the time, and then you find the stretches that work for you particularly. It doesn't have to be a whole regimen of them. It could be like 2 or 3. That's all. You know what I'm saying?
And we're talking stretching, but you're very right. There's tons of other things. When we talk alternative medicine, we're talking things outside of like
your typical
what would you say, an invasive?
You mean like non-allopathic medicine?
Right, exactly. So we're talking about
allopathic medicine is like
leave it to Jersey
MD.
guy to know those words.
Allopathic medicine is like MD stuff, like an MD, like you'd see an MD for
right.
Cool.
And even at that, you can find MDs that will support alternative medicine, and you just have to find what's right for you. So that can include diet and nutrition, of course, chiropractic care, massage therapy, acupuncture, physical therapy can be alternative medicine. Sometimes it's like, oh, well, you might have to have surgery, but let's try some physical therapy. Let's try some massage therapy. And sometimes people can do things that will avoid surgical intervention. But the key thing is knowing that there's no cookie cutter thing for everybody.
Okay.
Everybody has to find their own thing. And there's usually, if something's bothering you, you have a pain or you have something on it didn't happen overnight. It's not going to go away overnight. Right. So like Ray Lou, you said with your brother going for the chiropractic care, some people think, oh, once I start this, I got to keep going. Well, you get yourself on a maintenance,
right?
Because the problem is that if someone's coming to see me and your pain or your discomfort's an 8 out of 10, hopefully you leave me and it's a 0, but let's say you're a 3 or a 4. You don't want it to get back up. So in the minute you're getting back up to that sick, like you find your maintenance.
Right.
For whatever it is, chiro, acupuncture, exercise,
or a combination of some of them or all of them.
That's what you would hope for.
Right.
It is funny though how like when you say like alternative medicine, like what people think of as alternative medicine, like you think of the nutrition stuff, which like you got your NDs. You ever hear of an ND? Like an MD, naturopathic doctors. There's actually doctors that specialize. They go for diet. I actually was following this really cool doctor on YouTube, Dr. Glidden, and he like talks about like the 10 foods not to eat and stuff. And it's interesting. Like some things like is just like I showed it to Lou one time when we were working together. Like he says like don't drink a carbonated beverage with a meal, and he says something about like because your like stomach or whatever.
Right, you should eat first before you drink it. You know how they bring you the drink first? And they say, hey, would you like something to drink? It's actually in the wrong order. You should be eating first and having the drink afterwards. Because what you're doing is, because the carbonation does something and it doesn't help with digestion as well either. So it's better to get it to come from behind rather than, you know what I'm saying? Wrong choice of words, my bad. But yeah, I do remember when you.
And I forget he had a bunch of stuff like he had a bunch of good stuff. Like oil in a bottle. He said is not good because the oxidation.
Right, like Western oil and any of that crap.
But he goes into the scientific how like oil like at a high temperature like some kind of like carcinogen or whatever. Like he does.
What starts to happen with it? Yeah, it's crazy.
But it's fun.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but it's funny you say that because that comes down to food safety.
Yeah,
too,
right.
Because like, when you put something, if something's hot and you're done making soup, you're actually not supposed to fill the containers all the way. You're supposed to like bring it down a bit, and you have to make sure everything is completely cooled before you put it in the freezer for that reason. Because guess what?
Temperature.
Because something, even though you think it's cooled, the inside could still be warm. You put it in the cold, and now you have a bacteria that grows.
Yep.
But so those little things are just. How many people have food poisoning?
Well, I didn't even think about that.
I eat something and it's all over.
And you could eat the same thing. 3 people could eat tuna salad, and 1 person gets sick because it doesn't mean it's in the whole thing.
Yeah,
it could be just
in a certain right.
So
because maybe someone walked by, or someone that was making the tuna salad, they like had wet hands and their hand dripped and there was like bacteria on it, and then it just grew.
Bro,
it could be anything. Yeah.
See, no more buffet for me.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
You're not leaving the house out.
Yo, for real, I'm just gonna say I'm done with this, man.
But,
Godly.
But yeah, so as I was saying, like people think of different things. And when people say alternative medicine, the first thing I think of is like body hacking stuff. I love finding like the big thing now is with it's not new, but it's become more mainstream is like the ice baths.
I was just going to talk about it.
Ice
Yeah.
baths.
Ice baths. That's a big thing.
I want to try it.
I do too.
You know what I started doing too is because I read that like I do the cold shower thing. I take like a
That's a different thing. That's another show. Cold shower.
But it's supposed to be very good for you.
Yeah.
I do. I know they say not to do it too late at night, but like I do, if I take a shower during the day at night, I do lower the temperature.
You do it after a workout.
Afterwards, I lower the temperature to cool body, hit my air. It's supposed to be good for your immune system. And
They say it is like 5 minutes, even just
just 5 minutes. Yeah,
turn it down, and it doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be ice cold.
It
It
does
just
have
has
to
to
summertime,
be
I do it with the shower.
Like if you touch it with your hand, it feels cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you just touch the stream of your hand, feels cool. That's the best way to test because on your body it's more sensitive. But you touch your hand, it's slightly cool. That's good. But yeah, I was watching the ice bath things, and like I was watching a video of this woman. She had a really nice scenic area where she lived, but she had like a 55-gallon drum in her backyard, and in the winter, just filled with water, and she like pulled the ice cap off.
I saw that,
and then she went in it. And she's like, and then like after 2 minutes, she's relaxed.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Maybe you know better, but like they say like all the blood kind of like leaves your like skin to keep your body warm, and then so like when you get out you're all red, and then you get what's called like a burn or something like that, and that's just your blood coming back.
It's a big thing. Everybody's doing it now.
Yeah. And that's only for a short period of time because you're creating hypothermia.
Yeah, I was going to say. That was going to be my next question.
But the intention is what we started with. It's reducing inflammation in the body.
Exactly.
And inflammation is your body's defense.
Yeah.
So it's always fighting off something. Yeah.
Jeez.
Ice baths may help improve alertness, reduce pain, decrease inflammation. As a result, they may offer the benefits like reduce muscle soreness, pain relief, and improve mood. Yeah. However, the research is very limited, and there are also many potential risks. So you have to make sure you're doing it and being smart about it.
Just
when you
like
do
anything.
Yeah.
Even vitamins. Lou and I have had that conversation before. You know, vitamins, not saying anything against vitamins, but they are not regulated by the FDA.
No, they're not. Right.
So anybody, again, some people are like, oh, I need vitamin C. That's for this, but you can actually become toxic in them as well. If you're getting
if you take too much,
if you take too much, as well as deficient. So
then even the directions may be too much.
If you read any of the vitamins, they will say recommended daily allowance.
Yeah.
So that's their recommended amount, even with your diet. So if you're somebody who eats oranges, like 3 oranges a day, and now you're taking vitamin C on top of it, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, just for an example.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Most people are deficient in some way.
Right.
but with anything, what the point you're getting at is you do have to consult. Like, don't think that you're going to just go out and be like, oh, I'm just going to do this or do that. You don't know. And I have known people to be toxic because you have to gauge it on a lot of things. There's not one cookie cutter thing for anybody.
Yeah. See,
I mean, it's always best to research stuff too.
Yes,
like the ice bath thing. Like, don't be like, I'm just going to take the cover off my pool in the backyard
and go dive in.
And then all of a sudden you're like, I can't swim because the water is ice cold.
Right. And I'm a freaking ice cube.
Drowned. Yeah.
Social media and
I can't yell.
Have the trendsetters because of stuff like that. Like, oh, we said ice bath, so I'm just going to go
jump in the pool.
Jump in an ice bath.
Yeah, no crack.
For like an hour, and it's like no, it's more like 5 minutes.
Right. It's not for an hour.
Yeah, shit. See, so now,
so for
what
me, happened to Jack.
Yeah.
He'll never let go.
Ice cube, she let him go on purpose, man. That was something else.
And they could have both floated together on that dog.
Yeah, they could have.
They proved it.
Did you see that there is an actual raft that you can get for your pool, and it's that size?
No
way. And you can hey, could Jack have been a safe?
Man,
no, you know what would be messed up if the raft came with a silhouette of Jack, like an actual frozen Jack on it. Oh no,
you see, bro.
That's where I go with that.
I'm gonna put you on Shark Tank.
Oh my God.
Yes.
You can just watch that.
Yes.
That is
now
and you can never let go.
Yes.
That is
or like
funny
there's
shit.
a weight in it.
Right.
Look, Mom, look what I did. Jack is gone. No, you guys are crazy. and see, and I didn't even start off the year like that. I'm just letting you know. First episode back, and that was y'all.
I can't help myself. All
right, so now, question. In the morning, now say it's winter time here for us. I feel, maybe because I've done it for so long, I take a warm, hot shower in the morning before I leave because it says wintertime. Everything hurts if I don't. Is that more of a mental or is it a reality? And I don't even say it like that because I have arthritis, my whole left side. So now if I take a warm shower, I feel nice and warm, my joints feel good, and I go to work. Would it be better to then now take a cooler shower before I leave to go to work?
Well, it's like warming up for a workout. You're
Okay.
getting up, you're getting your body moving for the day. So it's not detrimental to do that. I mean, but you can do what we discussed. You can take a warm shower and then like a couple minutes on the cool setting, because again, the heat feels good.
Right.
Arthritis is inflammation.
Right.
Anytime you see itis in a word, it's inflammation. So that's heat. So the heat usually feels good. But
Because it gets the blood flow going there, right?
It gets the blood flow. So that, and you're going to work, you're, active, you're doing things. But yeah, let's say if that was only short lived and like within, you get out of the shower within 10 minutes, you're like, oh man, I feel all flared up. Then maybe that cold water at the end of the shower. But it's not detrimental to take a warm shower in the morning because again, it's like a warm up. You're warming your muscles. It's cold. We stay in one position all night usually.
Right.
So.
I find the combination of the hot and cold works well because like you're hot and you're getting like the blood flowing or the warm, and then when you switch to cold, like it really like it's like makes you like awake.
And you do it gradually. You don't just blast it.
No, I know that.
Slowly,
Yeah.
It's not just like I have it at like 85 degrees now. I have it at 40.
Yeah. No, I say because it's just I don't stretch, and I guess it was enough. I know I don't stretch enough, but I take a shower, take a hot shower, go into the bedroom, get dressed, and then when I come out, that's when I do like you were saying earlier, do the regular stretching, elbow behind the head kind of thing, and just pressure on the wall kind of stuff, and then that's it, and then go to work. I still feel the sore of, I said the joints with the arthritis. So now you saying that, I'm going to have to try that out then. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So and slowly.
But you
and
could,
again, what
sorry,
works, I'm sorry. And again, whatever might work for you might be different for someone else.
Right.
It is like I'm saying, that's why I say 95% of the time you want to go ice. There's every once in a while somebody has something different and they find maybe there's something else going on though.
Right. Yeah. No, but I'm willing to give it a shot, like you said, because I'm almost constantly in pain. So trying to do just little things, make changes. Like I said, we were talking earlier. We were talking about cutting back on certain foods. Like we've been cutting back on sugar and stuff.
Right.
And I feel the difference.
Yeah.
Just cutting back the sugar that I have.
And
the
sugar
candy.
is not good for inflammation.
No,
And
sugar
there you go.
And dairy.
Right. Well, I'm lactose, so I'm okay with that.
You're okay with that. But like, there are alternatives to that. That's a good example of alternative medicine.
Right.
Like you can do almond milk or, coconut, different things
Oat
like that.
milk,
But dairy is an inflammatory. The sugar, like you said, there's a lot of different things, and it's finding a balance. I'm one that I feel like, it doesn't mean you necessarily have to cut and kill everything out of you.
Right.
Find a balance,
Yeah.
Tanya and I right now are on a 21-day sugar detox, right? But that means also pasta, bread, all of that stuff. Anything that creates sugar in your body, it may not be going in that way, but that's the way it's going to process.
Yeah, simple.
So you got to get off the right. So now I'm doing. So now I'm doing that, and I'm finding that it's not as easy as I thought it was going to be. And I don't eat a lot of bread, and I don't eat a lot of pasta. I do have a sweet tooth, I had to cut the sugar out of my coffee because I can't have that in there.
Right.
I'm just doing it with the cream, which is fine. I can do that. So I'm making the adjustments, and I'm getting through it. You know what I mean? So it's going to be worth it because I think the whole point of it when we get to the last day is where, okay, so now if you want this stuff, you only have it when, let's say you go out to eat on the weekends and you have a dessert or you go to the movies. Or so, and I always have it in the house all the time. Because sometimes we were having stuff in the house. I'm like, babe, it's just too much stuff in here.
Right.
It's just too easy to go and grab it and have it. And that's not really good for you.
And portion control.
Right.
Like,
Right.
It's not like, again, don't have it, but like, or an alternative. So instead of maybe using sugar, like use honey. Or I know somebody who wanted to make something.
I can't even use honey yet.
Yeah. Well, and again, however, there's all different things, but I'm just saying, come back or like, okay, maybe keep a bag of Hershey Kisses in your house, but like don't eat out of the bag. Like take 2.
Right.
And,
Yeah,
like,
that's-
Put it away
this
and
is my
yeah,
portion.
eat it in another room.
Step away from the Hershey Kisses.
How many people
Yeah.
eat a bag of chips?
Yeah,
and
right.
They don't
Yeah.
pour it in a bowl.
Right.
Like, not to like put it in a bowl. That's
Right.
a portion, you know.
Right.
You let your kid at 10 sit and eat and pull.
No.
Just stick their hand.
Right.
Out and, you know.
Well, I think the
One,
problem too.
ew, but
Yeah, right. Because what happens is portion control, like Jen says. But I think now, like when we were younger, we didn't have as much as we have that is so accessible to us now. We can get anything we want, man. I mean, you can order anything you want. It'll be there tomorrow.
Right.
Whatever food you're looking for. You know, if it's not one store, you get another store. But but now it's so much more accessible than it was when you and I were growing up. We were out, we were running around.
Right.
We weren't sitting in front of
Well,
a
we were
computer.
burning it off.
Right. We were, you know, but it was more portion control because we
Right.
were going home to eat. We were doing it like we had a structure.
Right.
You know, it's
Yes.
so much different now. And
Yeah.
now that everybody has that easy, I can get it 1, 2, 3. That's really can be a issue too, you know, because of that.
Right. All right. So now we're saying that
Maybe
the
not for
pasta-
everybody, but for a
Oh
lot of
yeah, no,
people.
definitely.
Yeah.
So now we're saying like the pastas or those carbs. You said they were what carbs?
simple.
Simple.
carbs.
Simple carbs. So
Right.
now eating those simple carbs that make the sugar.
Right.
What is the alternative for those? I love pasta. I love the rice. I love potatoes. So then, you know, what
It's just
else?
a matter of, I would think, sorry, Jen.
No, go ahead.
But I think it's just a matter of, like Jen said before, portion control.
Oh,
but-
yeah, no
but
doubt.
not as often as you would normally do it.
Yeah.
You know, bring it back a little bit. Say, all right, maybe this week we'll do pasta on this day and then rice on that. You know what I mean? Like you
Like
change
once
it up.
a week.
Like,
something, right.
And
Yeah.
you can do things like there's, you know, instead of white rice, maybe whole grain rice.
Okay.
Or like yellow rice gives a nice change to it. But or like instead of pasta, you do have whole grain pasta. You can have
That's what I was
cauliflower,
gonna ask.
cauliflower rice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cauliflower
Oh, is that
rice.
good? I gotta
And
try
a
that.
lot of those things you can get even in the frozen
Yeah.
section.
Yes,
You know,
right.
if you're gonna go with produce, that's, you know, I don't try to shun people for not having fresh produce, but you can, because you can get frozen stuff in
Right.
time
Right.
wise.
Yeah.
Try to stay away from canned, but it's still better if you're getting vegetables, better than not. You
Right.
know? So, but yeah, rice, cauliflower.
They also have pastas that are made, but it takes getting used to because the texture is not the same. But they have like, you know, they have like lentil pasta made from lentils. They have pasta
Yeah.
made from like different stuff, right? You know, that are not
Then the traditional.
like
So-
whole, yeah.
Well, like I had, we had gotten whole wheat pasta. And when I'm reading the box, it's like more sugar than.
Well, the difference is that
I know where you're going.
as is like we talk. This is another day. It's a more complex thing. Nutrition
Right,
becomes-
exactly.
Is science and chemistry.
Right.
But to sum it up, you have simple sugars that we mentioned, and then you have more complex sugars. Those complex sugars fuel you and are like fiber, whereas the simple sugars poison.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
I don't
right,
know
right.
what-
Yeah.
A banana is a good example to take. A banana that's not ripe, you know, when you first have it, they have complex sugars. It's not as sweet. You know, most people are like, I want it to get darker. When it gets darker, it now becomes a simple sugar because the banana is trying to preserve itself.
Got you.
So
Right.
those you would want to, like, if you're making a smoothie, probably want something not
Or
as
freeze your
ripe.
bananas. I
freeze
do them.
them.
I
Yeah.
do that. So like if they do get talk like that, I'll just throw them in the freezer and then I'll freeze them like that
Yeah.
before they go bad.
Yeah.
Right.
But I also heard that even the ones that get really, really ripe,
Yeah.
something happens to the banana where it's actually helpful for other ailments that people may have that it can help out with it.
Right. And that's it too. Some people be like, well, then I don't want to eat that. Like,
Yeah.
no, you
Right.
know, I'm just saying, like, you know, if you have diabetes, I wouldn't go eating.
Right,
bananas.
exactly.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You
Got
would want to
you, yeah.
go more like on
Yeah.
something like
Right.
that. And
Yeah.
that's the same with strawberries or blueberries too. You'll notice they kind of get sweeter in time because they're preserving themselves.
Right. Like it's funny because with this thing, I can only have certain fruits and vegetables. I mean, fruits mostly. Like I can't have what was I going to say? I can't, cranberries, too sweet, oranges once in every so often, but apples, yes, but the green ones.
Yeah, it's very specific. Yeah.
Right, and it tells you
'Cause they
which
have less
ones.
sugar. Yeah, the green ones.
The berries aren't high in sugar, but they're good, and they do have a lot of good taste. So that's also good. But you don't have to worry. Right, raspberries, blueberries,
strawberries.
all that stuff.
There's
yeah.
a lot of like science stuff in there too. Like
Yeah.
like for instance, when you have a whole grain food, like you have like so if you have white rice and you have brown rice and you have whole wheat and then just white bread.
Right.
The white bread and the white rice are like pretty much like almost pre-digested food. Some of the health doctors say pre-digested. They call it pre-digested food.
That's kind of nasty.
I know, because like it's just your body just it goes right into, it doesn't slow, as where like the hulls that have been removed have fiber in them, and that helps slow down the I forget what the rate's called. There's like a scientific term for it, but like, so your body absorbs the sugar slower,
Right?
Yeah.
So it's better for you,
Right.
Yeah.
It's doing something else for you,
Right.
and even at that, like you have whole grain versus whole wheat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's steps. So like if you're somebody who's used to eating white bread all the time, you might not want to jump to whole grain.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's right. Maybe
love
like,
it.
let's do,
I'm like, give me like 50 grain bread.
Yeah. One of the
You don't
best.
even see bread; it's just a bag of seeds.
Right.
That's
Dave's
funny.
Killer Bread. Dave's
Yeah,
Killer
yeah,
Bread. That
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
is
yeah.
great. It's great.
I get the power seed, the red one.
Yeah.
That's the one I like.
But like something like that, you toast it and throw some peanut butter on it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so you have a lot of different options.
Yeah. I like. I like it. I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it was cool. I didn't even know they're hard. They always sell out the English muffins. He's got the
Oh my
Dave's.
God, I
Dave's
love the English
Killer
muffins, man.
English muffins.
I have
So
to try
Dave's Killer Bread is the way to go because they're all healthy. All right,
I mean, there's
cool.
a couple other brands too, but I like that brand.
Well, am I going to hear the guitar playing when he's...
He
Yeah.
stands there with a guitar.
Yeah.
His
You know
image
what's
and-
cool about
Dave's Killer
Yeah,
Bread?
I've seen those commercials.
They're a really
It's
cool
good.
company.
Yes.
If you know anything about the company, they're a really cool company.
Yeah, I've seen their commercials a
They're
few
a
times.
second. The guy who started Dave, he's an ex-convict, so he hires other ex-cons who are trying because they can't get jobs. It's very hard.
Very
if you-
cool.
Right.
So he the second chance or whatever they call it, like second chance like company.
Yeah, that's
So
a good
he
thing. I
hires,
think
like,
that's
people-
awesome.
So yeah, because if you have a criminal record, like you're like it's
very hard to get a
very,
job.
very hard.
Yeah.
You know. So and there's people who try to do better for themselves and they can't.
Yeah.
So he hires a lot of those people and it helps them out and it's good.
Yeah, so it's
and
a
his
good
bread
cause.
is and his bread is good.
And his bread is
Yeah.
good.
And his
He
bread
has
is
a
good.
good cause.
It's all
That way.
organic
Right.
too. It's all
Yeah.
organic.
Right.
It's good stuff.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
reasonably priced, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And
That works.
And
Yeah.
organic is good. And you listen, all this stuff we're talking about, you could absolutely sit and look it up.
Yeah.
And
but,
research
but
it,
that's why I talk to you because I get
cross-research
lazy
it.
for that shit.
Yeah, I know, and because then you kind of educate yourself a little bit. I'm not saying
Yeah,
you have to
no
sit there
doubt.
for
I know what
hours
you mean.
reading it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
if it's a certain thing, you look, you know what, I want to take. Let me look that up and see what it says,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
and you just kind of go. That's kind of how we go about it.
And
Right.
may I say one thing?
Sure,
on that?
absolutely. No, you can say.
As in regards to that, yes, we have the web and we can look up information, but figure out what a reliable source
Right,
is. You know,
of course.
like don't read just the headline. Read the article, get a couple of sources. If it's got a .gov after it,
Yeah.
or you want nutritional information, you
Yeah.
can go to the government sites
Right.
and not to send, but get factual information or other
Right.
ones too. You know. So, yeah.
The ADA is good too. American Dietetics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They usually have good stuff on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely. Yeah, so know what you're reading and where you're getting it from.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No quack on Facebook or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
Yeah, no. Like I said, because for me,
know.
I said because there's veggie pasta. I've seen
Yeah.
the whole wheat rice and I mean the brown rice and stuff like that. I'm like,
Right.
well, is it really? And I said when I just quick looked at the back of the box, I'm like, well, shit, that says a lot of of sugars in it. I'm like,
Yeah.
It can be confusing.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's confusing when you don't know and you don't even know what you're looking for. You know what I
Right.
mean? And that
does make it hard.
right, and that's why I said I've never paid any attention until talking to you and then you and then you, and I'm like,
Well,
what?
what's
I'm
funny?
surrounded to buy healthy, and it's like,
I go.
Well,
We
I have a
try.
health food store like 3 blocks from my house.
Yeah.
And it's funny when we moved into our house in 2014 and I went there and I was like, I don't know, this stuff's weird. I went in there because I had a coupon or so. I was like, I checked it out. And then I went vegan back in 2015. And then I started going there all the time because they have all the, the alternative stuff.
That's right next to
And-
the Dunkin' Donuts, isn't it?
oh, see, there it is. Yeah.
So, but then I started learning about all these different foods, like these alternative, like foods, like the pastas we're talking about. They got a whole shelf,
Yeah.
filled with all this different types of pastas. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Well, our time is just about up. So with that, I'd like to finish with Miss Jenny. What? Miss Jenny. So talk to us. Tell us, give us your how to reach you, website, emails, whatever.
So we are the Complementary Wellness Center in Middletown, New York.
Awesome.
And we do have a website, the complementarywellnesscenter.com. We're on Facebook, but, we're easily findable.
Yeah.
My business partner is Marianne McQuillan, and we do full evaluation with people. One of the things I want to mention to people is look up what credentialing your professionals should have. It's different state to state, no matter what it is, medically or alternatively, and just.
Cool. Now, do you do like classes or whatever for any of the stuff that you do? So you said your nutrition, you do the massage therapy stuff. Do you do classes on all that stuff?
We from time to time we have workshops here and again. Like we've done yoga in the past. We've had classes for that. Some personal training, nutritional counseling. Pre and post. Surgical recovery. So we do some classes now and again, which you can find on our website when we have those.
Excellent.
Or call us.
Yeah, for
Awesome.
sure. Well, I appreciate you being here. Thank you super much, being our first guest of 2024.
Thank you.
Yes.
So
Happy
thank
to
you.
be
Appreciate
here.
it. Yes. There'll be a part 2, so
Yeah.
we'll let you know. And then
I'll come back whenever you guys want me to.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. Because then
Thank
we
you.
can talk about some of the other stuff that you're doing too. So, that'd be way groovy.
Yeah.
I
All right.
love it. So thanks
cool.
everybody for listening. And so we have a website.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll have to. I completely forgot. But I'll have to link it in the. Maybe I'll link it in the show notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, put in the show notes in there.
We'll
so
put it in there, people.
Yep.
We'll
So
get
get
it.
it all in there. And said yes.
And you and you have a website, Jen. You're
Yep.
I'll link that in the show notes too.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yep. So definitely.
Facebook,
So
Instagram.
yes, follow us,
Check
like
us out.
us, all that other good stuff, comment and everything else.
Yeah,
So
please.
yes. So thank you everybody for being with us for the last 2 seasons. So I hope for a bunch more.
Yeah.
A gazillion more.
Absolutely.
So thank you everybody for listening. Have a great day. Love, peace, and hair grease.
Live long and prosper.
And go vegan.
Hello.